This is Kent at KJS Painting and Renovations, and today we are replacing a broken bath tile. Here's some of the stuff I'm using today. I've got this tile repair mortar. This will set in 2 hours, and then I can grout. And this is what I'm using for grout. It's a unsanded grout. And what I like to do is add a little bit of this milky fortifier stuff when I mix this up, so that the tile is going to stick better. Okay, here's the job. This is what it looks like. Doesn't look very good, see? How'd you like them apples? Okay, so the first thing, I'm going to break loose any loose stuff in here, right? And wash it, clean it. So we're going to take this piece and scrub it really nice with the brush. And this all needs to be wetted down and cleaned so nothing sticks to dust. So, okay, got some water here. I'm gonna put just a squirt or two of Clorox, just a little bit to kind of. Gonna do the same thing to this one. I got fresh water. Don't want any detergents in there. I want this to be wet. When making repairs, right, using like mortars, like cementitious mortars, like all this existing mortar, this mortar here, it all needs to be wet and saturated. I like to brush some bonding adhesive on here. Just use a little brush, and I gotta shake it up though. And just kind of brush some of this on there. Same goes for this one. Brush it on here. It's kind of milky. I'm gonna leave some of this bonding adhesive in the bucket, right? When I go to mix, you know, bonding adhesive. And here's my my rapid setting tile repair mortar. And look, it's white, which is what we like, because sometimes, you know, the grout here is white. Sometimes mortars are like really dark gray, and then it's could be a drag to grout if there's all this gray. So it's nice that it's a light color, right? So now just get going, pour some in. Only mix up as much as you can use. Let's see how this goes. Add just a little bit of water. We want this to be thick. Okay, now how thick should this be? You want this to kind of pretty much hang. Start hanging on the edge of your trowel when it's kind of vertical, you know? Okay, we got some on the back of the trowel here, right? Now we just start filling this in. Might be better to start at the bottom, right? But just kind of, you want to really force it in there, you know? Just put it in, go for some more. Okay, force it in there. Really push it in. Put in too much, okay? Okay, that's filled in pretty good. This is still nice and wet. Okay, so this thing is like really coated, and I was like working it in there, just really working it, because that kind of almost is like a primer action when you really work it, right? And so now I'm just gonna one hand, right? Put this down, but you know, you want to see it start squishing out like everywhere, you know? That's just ridiculous. That's too much, right? But that's what you want, right? It's okay to take it away, take a look, and it should like, oh, shit, that's fine. It's like a suction cup between the bonding agent and all of this. You know, this is never going to come out again. They're not going to be able to get this thing off. It's good to have a bucket of water ready to go with a sponge, but you know, sometimes this can really help. Just you take and that'll help set it nice. Okay, you can see I got most of the stuff removed, right? Now you take a sponge, pretty dry sponge, and start to kind of clear this off. I did some extra courtesy and I filled the hole in the floor. God, the light's bad in here. Does that help? No, it's worse. At any rate, I filled the hole in the floor, but you could use this sponge to clean linoleum. And rinse frequently, right? Don't dally when working with this rapid set product, because this sets quick. Clear the surface of the tile with your sponge quickly. Normally I would take all of this out of here, but since it's a white grout and the mortar's white, I'm gonna leave it. It's an old house. We're gonna come back later over here and fill in these with the unsanded grout. This will be ready for grout in 2 hours. And now, clean your tools. If you wait, you'll never get this off of here. So clean these pronto. So it's been a couple hours and now this mortar is all set. And listen to this. I mean, that is solid. So now it's all about the grout. So got a non-sanded grout because this stuff, it's kind of looks like a non-sanded grout. Same thing, I added a little bit of this sort of bonding agent in here, right? Just so that it's gonna stick better, kind of get it going. And where the grout's gonna go, it's kind of like a primer. Just prime it like this. And that's gonna help it adhere better. Okay, so I'm gonna leave a little bit of that bonding adhesive in the bottom of the bucket, right? And then add some grout. Don't want too much. Sort of the same deal with the grout. You kind of want it hanging, so it's kind of hanging off the edge of the trowel there. So I've loaded up my hard rubber float like so, and you kind of start at the bottom, right? Kind of work it in there. Sometimes a little squeezing motion kind of gets it in, right? Okay, just go to the top, and here we go, start again. Work your way up. I don't just really want to push it in there. Technically you're supposed to go at like a 45-degree angle, kind of kitty corner it, to get it in there best. Now that we've got it all in there, right? Go in and try to get the remainders of it off, just trying to remove this stuff. Only work an area like as big as you can, because if you put too much on and there's too much to clean it, it won't want to clean off. So this is what it looks like when it's basically clean. 10-20 minutes later we come back with a sponge, well wrung out sponge, and clear the tiles. Okay, so now with the very well wrung out sponge, we can get up here and just really lightly, sometimes I turn around and use the back of this thing, but just really lightly kind of clear the tile, but just kind of get in there and turn the sponge frequently. I have to rinse it already. Rinse the sponge. Clearing the grout, it's a little more finicky than you would think, It's kind of also a good idea to not wipe with it, but, lightly with kind of a dry sponge. More the 45-degree angle thing. Main thing is to clear, this surface. Because if it dries on here, it's just not going to come off. And don't remove too much of it. We want this to kind of hold this together. That's why we're here. This damn thing fell off. Okay, I think I'm satisfied with this now. The surface of the tiles are clean, but, I'm starting to get pretty happy with this here. So, just clear the tiles. So after the grout's kind of set a little bit, take a clean rag and just lightly kind of buff it until it's nice and shiny. Light buff. And I think that about wraps this job up. Well, this has been Kent at KJS Painting and Renovations, and this is how I repair a loose bath tile. And this is how you can repair one too, if you like. If you also like, you could like and subscribe. And yeah, thanks for supporting me and my business, and I'll see you on the next one.